Okay.
Yes, it's Couch Pilots. Welcome, all my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My mommy named me Jason, but you can call me the Black McCoy. And by my side is the real deal Holyfield. His name is Captain Philip Prestisher. Good evening, Captain.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm a lover and a fighter.
You're a maniac.
Some would say. I'm a maniac at your door. Some would even say.
Are those the lyrics?
I'm a maniac at your door.
I thought one of the lyrics was on the floor, like they're dancing crazy.
Oh,
but then at your door is like I could see someone on the floor dancing crazy, like that guy's nuts. But if the same guy shows up at my front doorstep,
he's a stalker.
Holy shit, that would be a maniac,
right? Evander Holyfield is a good guy, so I don't mind that little thing.
Does he have a prosthetic ear?
Ooh, I don't know. I think they stitched it up like where it just like stitched the two ends up.
I think I would leave it almost.
Oh yeah, that's a battle scar, man.
Like Mike Tyson is legendary. If you walked around, and I don't know if it's like two pieces like you're saying. I like to think it's a perfect like little cut of the teeth, like a perfect little bite chunk.
Yeah, probably is.
I would love that, and then I could walk around and people just look at me and I could just point and nod and yeah, that's what that is.
Mike Tyson bit me and I don't give a fuck.
I beat his ass. He bit me because he was scared, and here's where he bit me right here.
Jason, we had 2 episodes in a row where we had guests.
3.
Did we have 3 in a row?
Ace Fellows, the Clarkses,
we did,
and Bartholomew Phillips.
Holy cow, we had 3 in a row. Mm-hmm. It's our first time, just me and you back together again. We didn't podcast last week.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know.
So, were you mad about that?
I was steaming. No, I think I just went for a walk.
Steaming pile of poop. So it's just us. DSJ, have you seen or talked to him lately? I have not seen him at all.
I did actually. I ran into him at dinner the other night.
You were at the same restaurant?
Well,
or he came. You took him to dinner.
No,
did you take him to dinner?
He was at a restaurant with his wife, Fook-Me.
Right.
And the baby. And the baby was there.
DSJJR.
Mm-hmm. And I actually, I don't know if I'm a little embarrassed to say this. I wasn't there eating. I was there working.
Working at the restaurant?
I've taken a second job, and
Are you a busboy?
No, I'm a maitre d'.
What's that? What is that? That's French.
That means I wear a double-breasted suit.
Nice.
And then I take my left hand and I put it in front of me with the palm facing up, and then I like move my arm to the side, like right this way.
So you're a greeter.
Maitre d'.
Okay. All right. At Walmart, they call those a greeter.
No, they call them maitre d's at Walmart. Don't you? When's the last time you went to Walmart and you waved, "Hey, maitre d', thank you for welcoming"?
No, I say, "Hey, greeter."
Oh,
he's like, "You want a buggy?"
A buggy?
Yeah.
Is that what they call the carts there?
Are you financially okay? Why are you taking on a second job? Actually, a third job.
Well, a couple episodes back, they I forgot to mail in the check for the plane's insurance, and then a couple episodes back, I broke a lot of windows in the plane.
You did, and it was your fault because you have that little tablet there.
And I have a crazy temper too.
It's like a Mike Tyson temper.
And sometimes with tempers come tantrums. Oh. And I broke some windows, and I didn't pay the insurance for the plane. I forgot to mail it in.
That shouldn't come out of your pocket. That should come out of the Patreon.
How much do you think windows cost?
$5.
So I've taken this job to kind of mend my mistakes. But I've my tennis elbow, oddly enough, has disappeared from all the maitre d' exercise I get by waving my arm back and forth and welcoming people as a maitre d', not a greeter, into the restaurant.
I didn't know you were a big tennis player.
Oh, I'm not. It's just an affliction. They say it's often brought on by repetitive activities. If, like, say you're to make a fist, like you're to hold a tennis racket.
And then move it up and down real fast.
And then you move the tennis racket up and down real fast. Yeah, sometimes you get tennis elbow that way.
Well, and it's kind of the same story. Well, not same story, but in collaboration.
That's right.
You
Yeah,
think?
Kawabo Wabo. That's
Sammy Hagar's
Yeah.
vodka.
Yeah.
I have recently had some physical issues that I've been
Yeah,
working
you have
on.
an inverted foot. Is that right?
Inverted feet.
So that means they're upside down, essentially.
No, I gave you the wrong word.
Oh, okay.
But they're in. The ankles are in. But I've got a pinched nerve in my back and a bulging disc.
Are those things causing your inverted feet?
No, they are caused by the inverted feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So what caused the inverted feet?
Well, it's funny because when I got home from seeing the X-rays from the chiropractor, I said, "Hey, Mom, I got some feet issues," and she's like, "Yeah, when you were a kid, me and your dad took you to the doctor about those."
Do you have any recollection of that whatsoever?
No, and I said, "Okay," and that's all she said. So I waited about a half hour, and I texted her back. I said, "And he said what?"
Want to follow up with that, Mom?
Yeah, and she goes, he said they'd be fine. And I was like, "The '70s, am I right?" Ha ha ha.
They probably didn't think you'd be alive at this point.
Right, they knew I was going to be dead. So I've been having a lot of back issues lately.
I love like if I get behind in like a Rolling Stone or like an Entertainment Week, I love reading all the back issues. Don't you? I love actually building them up over time and then just getting a big stockade of back.
I don't
issues.
ever read anything.
But you were just talking about back issues. I thought.
No, I am having back issues. Like,
Yeah, I have back issues too. I got a whole cardboard box full of them.
anyway, I haven't bowled in 2 weeks, and I'm flipping out.
Oh, can you do Wii bowling?
I could, but it's not the same.
It's practically the same, right?
Pretty much.
Except you probably don't get some fungitis from putting your. Do you have your own shoes now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is there any aspect of the game that you don't own? Do you rent a sleeve when you're there, or do you have your own sleeve?
I have my own. I have two in case one rips.
Do you ever like double up, put two sleeves on one arm?
I've got two balls.
Yeah, so does every guy, except my friend Josh.
One's a spare ball and one's the regular ball. I have my own bag and my own shoes.
Why do you need a spare ball?
Because it goes straight. It doesn't hook.
So you have one ball that goes straight and one that hooks.
Yeah.
So there's like the weight's different inside the ball.
Yeah, basically.
And what? Okay, so all right, go ahead. Yeah.
It's not interesting for anybody, but I'm just trying to make you feel better because of your tennis elbow from jerking off.
No, it's from playing tennis or the like.
Right.
And it's actually being a maitre d'.
Do you have a tennis buddy? Like somebody that you go and tennis with?
Sure. Every once in a while, I get lonely and I need a buddy to help me
Sure.
with my tennis elbow. They come over.
With your strong arm?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, nice to have a partner.
Thank God we're in the middle of summer. We're starting summer now, right?
Oh, thank God.
The clear blue skies that we get to fly on. Finally, the hot tub and pool in the captain's lounge is all crystal clear, ready to go. The stewardess Molly put some new flowers. So there's a lot of pop.
I used to work at a hotel, as you know, and
it was bitching.
And it was bitching, first of all. Second of all, they had a hot tub there, and they got sued because someone said they had Legionnaire's disease as a result of using their hot tub.
Legionnaires.
Yeah, it was actually the name.
American Legionnaires?
No. Do you ever fly Legionnaire?
No, I fly myself.
I would never fly Legionnaire. But I think a Legionnaire is like a French army man. Anyway, there was like a big convention at one point, and there's a bunch of Legionnaires there, and they went into a hot tub, and a bunch of them got sick and died from like a parasite or some sort of bacteria from inside. So it was dubbed Legionnaire's disease. And then for some reason, the airline picked up that name. Anyway, I talked to Fukmi, since she's been doing a lot of the cleaning around here, and I said, I don't want any Legionnaire's disease.
Right. That's why. That's why we. Because of that conversation with you and Fukmi, we have a different kind of a chemical company and chemical program that we're using this year as opposed to last year.
And that's on her. I said, whatever you have to do to figure this out. So she made a bunch of phone calls, I guess, and spoke her godforsaken language and got it figured out, apparently. I don't know. I haven't been in the hot tub yet. But I talked to them a little bit at the restaurant when I saw them, and I sat them at the nicest table, of course, that overlooked the bay. And they seem to be doing well.
Good.
And I'm excited. DSJ said he would be a little late tonight, so maybe that's why you haven't seen him.
Right. I haven't seen him in 2 weeks.
He said he had to go get some stamps.
Why doesn't he use
Our sponsors, Stamps.com?
Right.
It's beyond me.
I don't know.
What's your favorite thing about our sponsors, Stamps.com?
Just the quality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of times podcasts get sponsorships that they'll just take whatever money they can get.
Sure.
Me Undies and all this.
Adam and Eve.
Lisa mattress. I mean, how do you know those are good mattresses? They come
know.
in a box the size of a mini fridge.
I don't want a mini fridge for a mattress.
Right. So, but Stamps.com, we can ship out all of our merch, from here. We don't have to go to the post office.
Right.
We can do it from here.
I love stamps, and I love the quality of stamps.
Well, I just love the quality of the procedure.
Right.
We get all, we have racks and racks of Couch Pause t-shirts. We got CouchCon 2018 t-shirts that we just got in. We still have some left from 2017.
Those are considered vintage now.
Exactly. And, we can do all that, and we can package them here on the airplane, and we can send them, and we can just put them in front step, and we don't have to do it.
We don't have to go to the post office. The post office comes to us.
Right.
So thank you, Stamps.com. Go to Stamps.com/CouchPilots, and you can get 10% off your first month worth of stamps.
You want some fan feedback?
Yeah, please.
All right. Let's.
I want to do a new. Can I do a new intro to fan feedback?
No, because you don't have anything coming out of that wire.
Okay, good.
Was it the shattering of another window?
I'm kind of pissed off right now.
Why?
Because the cord's not in there.
But we had an agreement.
Okay.
You're killing me, bro.
I just wanted the glass to break.
I think you're kind of obsessed with that, but you're going to be even more obsessed.
So that's the pot calling the kettle black, is it?
All right. Here we go.
Hey, Paul. This is Tyler from Mississippi. I'm calling in with correction and omission. Hope you, Jason, and June are doing good. Anyways, on the left... Wait. Oh. Shit.
Is that it?
Yeah. How did this get made? We got our phone number got mistaken for how did this get made, and I know that voice, and if that's any voice that I know that it's Tyler's voice.
He said it's Tyler from Mississippi. Like, he's got a correction and omission.
Well, yeah, he said hey Paul.
Oh, he said Paul.
Yeah, he said hey Paul.
So we got mistaken.
Yeah.
For the how did this get made? Question hotline or whatever it is.
If you're
Ask Paul, right?
Right. If you're going to be mistaken for anybody, that would be the show too.
That's high praise.
Let me see here.
Tyler, you know what? You didn't call us on purpose, but god damn it, you're getting some frequent flyer points. It's just that easy, folks.
Exactamundo. Oh man, there's so much fan feedback here. Let's just do.
Give me the hottest one. I want it hot to the touch.
Hot like wasabi when I bust rhymes. I'm like Leanne Rhymes.
Leanne Rhymes was never hot, was she?
Speaking of Leanne Rhymes, Lori Garcia. Oops, nope, got that one already. Lori Garcia sent us a meme. I can't wait to give you a big hug around the neck with the pillow I am holding in my hands, and it's Chris Benoit kissing his son.
Jesus Christ.
That's awesome. That is fucking awesome. It's not his fault. It's not Chris's fault.
I mean, I think it is probably his fault, right?
Did you know his wife and his kid? They were probably fucking annoying.
I didn't take that into consideration. I think you're probably right.
Did we talk about the one that Dee Dee sent with the snakes, shark, and wolf?
I don't think so.
Here we go. Dee Dee sent us, it says, Australia is fucking mental. This is an actual photo of a dog eating a shark while two snakes fight to the death.
A dog eating a shark while two snakes. Yeah.
And Lori Garcia says, oh my God, I love you so much, Dee Dee. You're such a badass bitch. You know I have your back, girl. And
frequent flyer points. Boom. You got them. What? Now, hey, Lori, you got them. Now what are you going to do with them?
Yeah. And then Conrad.
Yes. Boy, back in it.
He's a good old boy. Never meaning no harm.
I think he does mean harm. I know you're trying to feed that in, but
he knows harm by this picture. It's the lead singer of Crash Test Dummies going. I said, we are glad we're glad to have you back, comrade. We played your voicemail on the next Monday's show. Love you, buddy. And Conrad said, just glad I'm being time warped back to the 90s again.
And that's what we do here, right? We time warp people.
We go back to the time warp again. So great. Thank you for the fan. Why is that doing that?
Did you mute it?
I did mute it, but now I unmuted it.
Well, you
got
gotta mute it.
Muted again. Jesus criminally.
Son of a gun.
Son of a biscuit eater? What does that mean, son of a biscuit eater? Have you ever heard that?
I don't know. I feel like it takes no skill to eat biscuits, so maybe like it's
Buttermilk biscuits. Then buttermilk biscuits. Speaking of which, Fukmi makes some kick-ass buttermilk biscuits.
Oh, I wish I had one of those biscuits. Does it have gluten in it?
I don't know, but you need to be here about 3:30 instead of 6:30.
Man, funk that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
I got some questions for the next show for you. I have some lady questions for you.
Lady questions. Mm-hmm. What do you think you're doing?
I'm getting my stuff.
You think that's your stuff? That's not your stuff. You didn't pay for that. It's not yours because you didn't pay for it, stupid. None of this stuff is yours. If you're going to leave, you leave with what you've got. Nothing. See ya. You treat me like this is, you treat like this, and what you get, that's fair. Huh? You want to live that way? Fuck that little whore. I've taken care of you all your miserable fucking life. You pay for it? You owe me for all the shit I've done for you in your life. You little fucker. You understand? Think you're going to be this? Huh? These goddamn posters. You're not going to be this. You're not going to be shit. You know why? Because you're stupid.
I'm not stupid.
Yes, you are.
Why are you so mean to me? You're my mom.
Not by choice.
Don't be mean to me.
You little fucker. I'm not being mean to you. You're just too stupid to see.
You don't know what I can do. You don't know what I can do or what I'm going to do or what I'm going to be. You don't know. I'm good. I have good things about me. Things that you don't even know.
Are you sure that's all you have to say?
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Don't be mean to me.
You little fucker. I'm not being mean to you.
And you don't be mean. You don't talk to me. No. The part of it was messed up on this end.
Okay. Because I was like,
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
All right.
That was that's a movie
Pilots.
quote. Yeah, that kind of sums up what we do here each week, I think.
I think so. As I was reading it, I was like, this is Couch Pilots.
Today we discuss the pilot episode of Archie from the year of our Lord 1964. I can say with great confidence, great year.
That was a great year. I'm going to have to get out my calculator and find out when I was alive.
Now, the calculator is a device that you use that it's kind of a subset of the pachinko machine that takes numbers and kind of makes them a little wonky.
Yeah. I was negative 11.
Oh, yeah? Well, that makes me negative 17.
Wow. Sexy and 17.
Sexy and
My
negative 17.
little rock and roll queen. I'm a little
The
bit
show
of
is
singing.
built on the back of his songs. 1960. Who sings that? Is that Elvis Presley?
No. She's sexy
The
and
Big
17.
Bopper.
Julio Iglesias.
1964. This is before.
Was this before the Beatles?
This is mid Beatles. Beatles are like six. This is the first half of the Beatles where they're like.
I want to hold your hand.
That's your Beatles, right? That's what you like.
Yeah, I like early Beatles.
This is the nice stuff right here because
sweet spot.
a few years from now, 1964. A few years from now, Reefer starts a little bit in.
And then acid, LSD.
That's right. And it
Hinduism.
ruins an entire nation. But up to this point, this is the greatest generation.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the end, the period, the exclamation point on the greatest generation this country's ever seen.
Yep, Ed Sullivan.
Oh, love Ed Sullivan.
Elvis was shaking his rump.
His took us, yeah.
His took us. The Beatles were there. There was
The Smothers Brothers, they were smothering people.
No, Smothers Brothers were funny.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Is my hair bouncing when I talk?
Yeah, you got a pompadour. Last week it was a mamador. This week is a papador.
1964, baby. I'm loving it.
We talked a little bit about it just now.
Da, da, da.
I'm loving that year. What happened in 1964? What are the things that defined that year? We need to know, because that's when this pilot came out.
Right.
And we can't judge this pilot by not being in the mindset of the time in which it was.
We're in 2018. This is 1964.
It's like a million years apart.
Right. Since then, what has been invented?
Oh, a million things. Just name off a few.
Courtney Cox.
Yeah.
Band-Aids. Will Smith. And CGI.
Yeah. What about Jungle Juice?
That's kind of racist. Jolt Cola.
Oh, what did I? That's what I meant.
back.
What did I say? I said
Jungle Juice.
I was thinking racist Jungle Juice, but I meant to say Jolt Cola.
Have you ever had a Jolt Cola? I almost bought one the other day.
When I was a kid,
I thought I was going to die.
I was a couple blocks away from a gas station. I would walk down there and I get a Jolt, and it boasted twice the caffeine of a Mountain Dew. And Mountain Dew is already known to have high caffeine.
Right. I've lost 7 teeth because of Mountain Dew.
I was going to say 17 years off your life, which might also be accurate. But yeah, I remember always seeing.
We won't know till the end.
which your foot doctor thought would be a lot sooner than now. Apparently,
when I went in there, he took the X-rays, and when he was showing me the X-rays, he said, "How are you walking right now?"
He's like, no. This is not. You're defying everything I ever learned at
chiropractic
Johns
school.
Hopkins University. Anyway, 1964. I think it's a great year, but the only way to really know is to go back there in our minds. So we do that by talking about big things that happened back then. Here's one. Average income, $6,000 a year.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I make that in a year. Hold on.
Wait, it was $6,000 a year?
Shit. Yeah, that's what the computer told me.
Holy shit.
And people were making their way.
Wow. How are they doing that?
Lower prices.
What was your mortgage? $36?
Yeah, maybe $36.
I pay $915 a month on my mortgage.
Holy criminy!
So it would be impossible for me to own this house in 1964.
You couldn't do it.
No.
There's not a chance. Vietnam War. 3 North Vietnamese torpedo boats attacked the U.S. destroyer Maddox in the Gulf of Tonkin. U.S. Congress authorities war against the North Vietnam Gulf of Tonkin resolution.
Do you want to get political here?
Well, we can, but I will preface this by usually we say no religion, no politics,
And no her.
and no cops. but I will make an exception.
Vietnam War, right? We just wasted our time. We just wasted innocent people's time and
Tom
life.
Hanks got shot in the asshole.
Who?
Tom Hanks.
Oh, they said Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy Hanks got shot directly in his asshole.
Yeah, we didn't need to be over there. You know, there's just rice patties.
It was population control. We eliminated many young American boys.
You think that's what it was? Population control?
I don't think that's why we did it, but it's an indirect result
Yeah.
of what happened. God damn, what was it, like 60,000 kids died?
Yeah.
Dead. 60,000 kids.
Yeah.
And you know, this would say, oh, you ran off to Canada? You fucking traitor. Hey, how about you fuck yourself right in the mouth?
Right.
I will hightail it out of here if
Oh.
they're going to tell me to fight for something I have no idea in a place I've never been or have any understanding of
Yep. And
in
I'm
a war that we
17
cannot
years old,
possibly
18 years
win.
old.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm going to Canada
Fuck
all
this
day.
country forever and one day if they're going to tell me to do something like that.
I'll wave to you from Niagara Falls. Yeah, that's all those guys that went over to Canada.
Yeah.
They should have just stood
They're
up.
still alive.
They should they're still alive, and they should have just went up to the Niagara Falls and just waved from the other side and said, fuck you.
Man, John Kerry. Did they say John Kerry was a deserter or something? Wasn't that part of the slur campaign against him when he was running for president?
It's one of those things. They always just slur stuff. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot.
Mudslinging, right?
Oh, I love him as slider.
That's a dirty thing to say. Vietnam War. A lot of things that we don't understand about the Vietnam War.
And there's a lot of things we'll never know. There's a lot more things.
I have them listed here. I don't even necessarily need to go through them.
No.
I don't. But it was
Can you give me two?
Oh, 2 things? Yeah, sure. Let's see. Leading up to 1960, actually, I'll skip that one. 1961, May, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson visited Saigon and declared, "No how din deem," the Winston Churchill of Asia. Johnson assured Deem of more aid in molding a fighting force that could resist the communists. Who cares? Let them be communists.
Yeah, they said that we went over there to stop communism in South Korea.
In a fucking jungle?
In a jungle.
What kind of threat is that?
Not a threat at all. The only threat you have is like fungus on your feet and your fucking balls.
Yeah, everyone had Walmart bags around their feet trying to keep them dry. And we're worried about communism? Go to hell.
And that's also where we, as the United States of America, found out what heroin was.
I love it.
And that's when the government decided, hey, this heroin that we just found, we can get rid of all the blacks.
Everything this government does is against the blacks.
No, but seriously, that's
crack cocaine.
The government was bringing heroin into this country and giving it to the
Negro population.
The Negro population. Yeah, definitely. Fuck them, right?
And
Fuck
then,
the government.
And then also they said gay AIDS was against the blacks, and crack cocaine in the inner cities was against the blacks.
Right now, to this day, what we're doing right now is in West Virginia and all the Appalachian.
West Virginia.
We're fucking putting all kinds of fucking pills in there to kill all those people off.
What pills? What are you talking about?
Huh? Like opiates and stuff?
Are you talking about cryptocurrency?
No, not bitcoins.
Oh.
No, but meth and fucking pills and shit. That's what we're the United States, like you said, population control. But I digress.
Can you pause this for a second?
Yeah.
What do you know about meth?
Well, I know that I watched a lot of Breaking Bad.
No, like
gets you high, but it fucks your teeth up.
Like when I leave here.
Where do you get to meth?
All right.
You're in Pekin, so just throw a rock.
Just walk out the front door and fall over.
Just throw a rock.
All right. Put the mic back on.
And sound speed.
So that's everything you need to know about in Vietnam. Something else that happened in 1964: the Boston Strangler. Alberto DeSalvo is captured.
I've really been into serial killers lately in true crime. Have not got to the Boston Strangler.
You'll get there, my friend.
I'm excited about it.
You know how he killed his victims? He strangled them.
Are you shitting me?
He Boston strangled them.
Hey, the socks are the best.
Park the car and choke your neck. That's not that funny.
I just read. I just listened to a 4-part series on the BTK. Yeah, BTK.
Yeah, he was captured in like 2008 or something, right?
Yeah.
After like a couple decades?
Yeah. And it was his own fault.
How did he get caught?
He was dormant for a while, because
he went into hibernation, plugged up his assholes with twig and
then
mud.
he sent a message to the cops and said, "Hey, if I give you a floppy disk, are you able to trace it?" And they said no. And he sent it in, and they traced it.
Well, how did he get?
And he said, "Why did you lie to me?"
What? How did he get the message to them? Or no. Okay. How did he get the response from the cops that said no, we can't trace it?
It was in he put an ad in the paper saying, hey, if I send a floppy, blah blah blah, and then he instructed them to put an ad back in the paper, and they said no, we can't trace that. You dumb fucker.
BTK is bound, tie, kill?
Yep.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
That's kind of fucked up.
He was super fucked up.
Yeah. He sounds like a human piece of shit.
Yep. Speaking of human piece of shit.
Me?
No.
You pointed right at me.
No, I meant go to the next thing.
Like before, you just kind of motioned with your hand, but the second time you
casher?
You use your finger. You pointed right at me.
Well, I meant go to it.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a great segue.
Let's see.
Speaking of jerk off.
You're pointing at me again. You think watch what you call me, buddy. 1964, October 27th, my birthday. Alberto DeSalvo is arrested and later confesses to being the Boston Strangler.
That's crazy. I'm going to have to read up on him.
Do you think that if you killed a bunch of people, you would want people to know that you did it, like for a badge of honor? Because that seems to be the downfall of a lot of these guys, is wanting the notoriety.
Right. That is what 90% of the time. That's what how the goose gets the gander.
Is that a deficiency of the serial killer, or is that just human nature in general who wants credit for what they've done?
A lot of serial killers want the credit. They enjoy the cat and mouse between the police. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Zodiac killer, he did a lot of communication with the police for years and years. They never found him.
I think if I raped and killed some ladies, or even some fellas, I probably wouldn't want to be caught at all, or ever even contact the police.
I think ultimately most of them want to be caught.
Yeah, maybe I'd contact him. I don't know. Anyway, he's guilty. They killed him. Oh, no, he was... in 1973, he was found stabbed to death at Massachusetts Correctional Institution, formerly known as MCI Walpole.
Because he said he liked the Yankees.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, you know that about him?
Yeah, he was in the prison. He's like, I love the Yankees, and some fucking Boston guy.
I want you to yank this. Ooh!
Hey, you!
Oh, gotcha! A Boston Strangle you!
Did the Boston Strangler kill kids? Because that would be the reason why they would fucking kill him.
Okay, well, here's let's see. We can get into it now. 1962, first victim, Anna E. Slessers, is found strangled with the cord from her bathrobe. And you got 1962, 7 more victims are murdered. Mary Mullen, 85.
No.
Nina Nichols, 68. Helen Blake, sorry, R.I.P. 65. Ida
Grandma!
Erga. Your grandma has your first name as her last name?
Yeah.
75. Jane Sullivan, 67. Sophie Clark, R.I.P. the Clarks, 20. And Patricia Bissett, 23. So he really runs the gamut on murders.
But for the most part, 90% of those are all people 60 or over. So he's just like a pussy.
Final victim was 19. There's a couple more.
Well, he started going down. He started going like the age.
Maybe he had a checklist. You know how some people have a bucket list, and I personally have a fuck it list. The elusive midget is still out there, but this guy's got a kill list maybe, and he wants to check off every age. It's like a murder bingo.
Yeah, sounds good.
Anyway, for me, I'm in 1964.
Oh, I'm right there.
The Big Bopper is out here.
Waylon Jennings.
Waylon Jennings is singing. Woody Guthrie
Woodstock
just
is getting
killed
ready
himself.
to happen.
Yeah, they're preparing Woodstock.
They didn't prepare enough.
Yeah. The lack of preparation was beginning for
Right.
Woodstock. Why did we choose to watch Archie? And can you hear that weird noise in my ear?
Yeah, I can, and I think it's me.
Okay.
I don't think it's on here.
What do you mean it's you?
It's me.
It's like a shh.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Fuck it. The 3 criteria. 1, it had to be a one and done. Is it going to bother you? Just move your...
I don't know if are the people going to hear it at home.
If they do, it's demons. That's all I can say.
Okay, the people aren't going to hear it at home. I don't care.
Right. I think it's me.
Okay. So
Do you hear it anymore?
yeah, I still hear it.
You still hear it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I still hear it.
All right. So what should I do?
It's like this.
I can't hear you because I undid my thing. Do you still hear it?
No, I don't hear it now.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. 3 criteria. 1, it had to be a one and done. It never went to series. Only 1 episode was made. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant. Number 2, we had to find it on the interwebs. And number 3, it had to be free, baby. We make $6,000 a year. We need to watch free pilots.
Yeah. I don't have a pilot budget.
That's why you have a 3rd job.
I talked to my accountant and I said, this is how much money
You
per
have an
year.
accountant, but you had to take a 3rd job because
He works pro Sonny Bono, and I said, this is the amount.
I share that.
Thank you. You can share them anytime you want. I got you, babe. And so I got a entire percentage set aside. I said, this is what I want to save up for pilots. He says, you don't even have the funds to pay your electric bill. How are you going to pay for pilots?
Right.
I said, well, make it happen. He says, I'm not a mathematician. I'm a pro Sonny Bono accountant. And so the fact of the matter is that I can't pay for any pilots.
It's a hard knock life. But we watch these. They have to be free. That's why we watch them.
They have to be
3 criteria.
Free is the land that we live in. So I ask you, some people might ask me rather, where can you find Archie to watch for yourself? Well, you can do so by subscribing to our podcast here, Couch Pilots, in Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app of choice. Then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes or go to YouTube.
And you know what to do. Tube.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
We should have had Big E keep that new mixer he bought and then took it back.
You took it back? Why did you take it back?
Buyer's remorse.
Oh, okay, that sounds right.
Yeah, I completely agree with it.
I agree too.
But I wish we would have sent this one back in the box.
You know who's been fooling around with electronics lately?
Who?
DSJ.
Really?
Yes, he went to a garage sale. I ran into because I oddly enough I kind of bump into him. A
It
lot.
seems like it. I don't ever see him.
So we're at a neighborhood garage sale. I bump into him and Fukumi. She's pushing around DSJJR and whatever.
What was she wearing?
Like traditional garb, like long, bold, colorful dress.
Oh, so you get to see her legs.
No, that's come on. I don't want to covet another man's wife. Anyway,
You have to cover him. You just got to fuck her.
jeez. Anyway, he was buying a lot of old electronics, and he was telling me that he was working on something big. I don't know what it is, but something big, and he said world changing.
Wow.
I don't know what the implications of that mean, but
Maybe he should spend less time doing that and more time working on our. We wouldn't have these static stuff.
maybe he can take a crack at it. You know,
Yeah.
somebody the pilot.
You give him so much leeway.
I really do.
I wouldn't.
Sitcom about comic strip character Archie.
That's it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. Probably the shortest summary you've ever had.
I'll give it a B.
You know what? It's not inaccurate.
They. Well, that wasn't even a word I said. I said they. That wasn't even a word.
That sounds like some like hip hop artist or like some singer I don't know anything about.
Right.
Like this
Thea.
week on SNL, Thea.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll watch it. I don't know. I guess she exists and is popular enough to be on this
How
program.
you know it's a she?
My mistake. I apologize.
Let's move it along.
I apologize.
How about that?
Did I tell you when you did that as Cockstrong on the Heel versus Face show?
Yeah. You text me.
Oh my god.
You said you loved it.
Cracked me up.
I appreciate that.
Cracked me up.
I apologize. Was it like that?
Yeah. Interesting facts. Interesting facts.
Conrad rule. The Conrad rule is now in effect. All please rise.
Do we really have to stand up for this thing?
No.
Okay, thank you. Conrad, a longtime violator of the interesting facts rule, though. That's kind of like the Amber Alert, right? Some young broad named Amber gets kidnapped and murdered, and now we have an Amber Alert anytime a kid is missing.
Yeah.
So now it's the Conrad rule when someone potentially could violate the interesting facts rule.
Right. Jason has scoured the internet. He's found some facts about this pilot that you may not know,
You won't know about it.
and he's going to tell you about them. Please don't say that they're interesting. Please don't email us. Please don't call us. And please don't tell anyone around you because you're tainting you're tainting their experience. Just keep it to yourself. Process it. If you have a four-legged dog or cat, go ahead and talk to them about it.
Can I ask? What if it's like a lizard? Like any four-legged friend?
Lizard. Yeah, if it's got four legs, do it.
What if? Okay, sometimes lizards.
Nope.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
If it's a salamander, if it's got four legs, it doesn't matter. You ever heard of a salamander?
A salamander that doesn't matter.
A tadpole, you couldn't tell him. A frog, you could.
A tadpole is just like a sperm.
Yeah, it's a frog, a baby frog.
Yeah. This was a
Tadpole, square pants, right?
How dare you? How dare you say that to me during Interesting Facts? Shame on you.
Go ahead.
Shame on
Go
you.
ahead. Shame on you!
This was the second attempt to create an Archie television series. The first was a 1962 pilot called Life with Archie, starring Frank Bank, Clarence Rutherford of Leave It to Beaver. According to Frank Bank, God, what an awful name, the pilot was not picked up because the sponsors felt that viewers would see him as Lumpy from Leave It to Beaver. You ever watch that fucking shit?
Was that the brother? Older brother?
I don't know.
I don't.
It was, it's one of those shows that they throw on Nick at Night, all the
Right.
old cartoons. Car 54.
I've seen the Beaver
Yeah.
a lot. Oh, it was Beaver?
Lumpy.
Oh, yeah, then he would be Lumpy.
Lumpy?
Yeah, Beaver was Lumpy.
I don't think that was. I don't think he was Beaver though. Was he? Isn't that? What the fuck is that guy's name?
Clarence Carter. Oh shit!
Shit.
I'll look it up on IMDb.
What's that guy's name? That's gonna bother me. I don't know. Anyway, the second pilot that we're watching today is also known as the Electric Cupid.
That's the name of. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Electric Cupid. That makes sense.
Screen Gems produced it. ABC distributed it.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
This show is built in the back of his back rooms, which have not been very good lately.
What's that?
You've been drinking a lot of hard alcohol lately, and you don't get near as much belch as when you do beer.
Notable cast members that appeared in the show are Archie's parents, the Patty Duke Show's William Schallert.
Yes.
Portrayed Mr. Andrews, and his wife, Mary, is portrayed by Jean Vander Pill.
Don't know.
Otherwise known as the voice of Wilma Flintstone.
Okay.
Also, Roland Charlie Chan Winters, the man who played Charlie Chan, the white man who portrayed a Chinaman in many an action flick.
Does it tell the name of the teacher? Because I've seen her. She was on Green Acres.
That short-haired teacher?
Yeah.
She was kind of odd-looking?
Yeah.
No, I don't have her name.
Okay.
In June 2013, it was announced that the modern version of Archie is being planned by Warner Brothers Pictures to be directed by Jason Moore and written by Roberto Aguirre Sasca, which I think is outdated. That's 5 years ago. Instead, we have Riverdale, which is kind of a modern take. You ever hear of the show Riverdale?
No.
It's on like the CW or some shit. It's a bunch. It's kind of like a dark show. But it's the characters of Archie. So there is a semi-successful modern version of Archie on television as we speak.
Wow. That's
Whoa.
sorry.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, you know what? Interesting facts over.
Whew. Nice job.
And we follow that up immediately with Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. I wonder if Jason got some Twitter responses.
1964, They're All Dead. Disney podcast.
Hi, this is Dustin.
And Brianna.
We're a couple who love all things Disney. We decided to sit down twice a month to discuss and analyze a variety of Disney films and topics with a grown-up's perspective and an adult sense of humor.
Dishing Disney will give film reviews with the memories of a child filtered through an adult frame of mind. We've noticed some things about our beloved Disney movies that we didn't pick up on as kids, and now we want to talk about them. Plus, we'll do a bonus Top 5 episode every month where we make our ultimate lineups regarding the topic of the day.
So wish upon a star, give a little whistle, and be a part of our world as we explore the wonderful world of Disney together. This is Dishing Disney.
You didn't know that the ending was that long. You started way too early on that.
No, I could do it all
You
day.
held out.
I could
all
do
day.
it
Day?
every day.
If you like Disney, this is a podcast.
How many fucking shows is this guy gonna do?
Here's what's going to happen. All right.
Okay, I want to know.
He's going to have a show by the end of 2018.
The year that we're currently in.
He's going to have a show for every day of the week.
Okay, so let's help him out real quick. So he's got 5 shows as it stands. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And I'm part of one of them.
Right.
What are the other 2 shows? Let's prepare them right now. What
Okay.
other 2 shows will Dustin do?
I think he needs to have a wedding planning podcast with him and Brianna.
Him in character the whole time is Chet Waffles.
Yes, and
Okay.
they're planning a wedding.
Good.
And then
I like that. Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. And then I would do like a banking one, like counting
Like
change.
fucking? Banging?
No, banking. Like
Oh, I think
it's
you said
called-
banging like
No,
like
no.
fucking.
banking. It's called counting change. And he just talks about what's happened to him at the bank.
Okay, like a minute by minute account of his
Very much so.
a really minute detail.
Right. He needs to
Okay.
get his iPhone and just press record and set it on the counter next to him and drive through and then just play that.
There you go, Dustin. There's your 2 ideas. Get to work. Dishing Disney. Disney is a bizarre thing. I feel like in the late 70s and again maybe in the late 90s, it was a kind of a dying thing. It ebb and flow, but goddamn if they haven't picked up some licenses and there's some weird darkness out there. If this is an adult version of a Disney podcast, then I think they're going to uncover and talk about some kind of shady stuff that happens there and some questionable things, as well as the fond memories that everyone has of Disney as a child or an adult. So check that out. Honestly, I'm not sure which day of the week it comes out, but it comes out on a day of the week. Enjoy Dishing Disney with our good friend Dustin and his betrothed Brianna. So that'll be a show to check out. But right now, Blake and I are going to check out Archie, the second attempt at a pilot for the beloved comic strip character known simply as Archie. So anyway, it starts at, this is a YouTube situation, and there's like a little buffer at the beginning, like the Wayback Machine, classic TV. I guess, I don't know, I didn't pay it much mind, honestly.
No, I thought it was pretty cool, though. It was something different, kind of like, because there was multiple links that you could use. This was the classically blue link.
Okay, that's the only one you should be looking at.
Right, and that's the one I looked at, and there were some hot girls that introduced this show.
Yes, so you start off meta milk boning out, and honestly...
Meta milk bonier.
That's French for legionnaire. So you got an exterior shot of the home. This is a black and white sitcom feature. You got the parents in the dining room, and they're waiting for Archie Andrews. I honestly, to this point, I never knew that Archie's last name was Andrews.
I did not even write that down once in this whole thing. That's how... But, yeah, so... It's one of this family must get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning because the mom has a full spread. The dad is in his suit. The mom is in her dress, and they're waiting for Archie to wake up. And to me, to do that nowadays, you'd have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, to get everything done, to pick up your room, make your bed, shower, put on your Sunday best, get a nice breakfast and coffee going, read the paper. How much time do you have in the morning?
No,
unbelievable. But Archie's got a new invention to wake him up, and the parents are aware of this, and they're kind of letting it run its course upstairs, right?
I don't think they did know about it.
Oh, I thought they're like they knew he was working on it.
No,
they didn't know to what end.
No, I think they were surprised that he got up on time.
Okay,
and they show there's pulleys and there's all kinds of crazy stuff in his room.
It's a very elaborate, like Rube Goldberg machine almost. Yeah, a lot of strings.
Goldberg.
The streak is alive, my friends. Pulleys. There's wheels, shoes, opening blinds, slamming windows, playing records.
The shower
turning
comes
on. The shower, yeah.
Yeah, there was no shower curtain. He was just getting his whole upstairs wet.
Essentially, what was happening is that he knew his parents wanted him to get up.
Because this is Archie is known to sleep a lot. He's known to be a late sleeper.
He's a growing boy. He needs his rest.
Thank you. High five that shit.
Thank you.
Boom.
What's that?
No. Do it again. High five that shit. Boom. God damn it. Something's broke. Hold on. Go ahead.
That's weird. Yeah, Archie says, I don't want to wake up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Right.
So he
R.I.P. Toys R Us.
Oh, R.I.P. indeed. So he stays in bed and sleeps while this whole rigmarole is happening around him to fool his parents downstairs that he's actually getting up and doing things.
There's shoes that are clomping. There's all these pulleys. There's a tape recorder, a reel tape recorder right next to his bed.
A reel to reel.
The shower's running, but yet he's still asleep.
How could he sleep through this when his parents can hear every damn thing downstairs?
His dad, most of all, becomes suspicious, and
there's too much ruckus upstairs.
Yeah.
He got shoes on in the shower. This is fucking bullshit.
Right. He goes up there, and he gets caught, like, in the doors because of all these strings and stuff.
It's a web, literally a web of Archie's lies, right?
Caught up in no... Oh, God damn it. I don't know the words.
What is it?
Spider web. No doubt. Anyway.
No doubt, indeed.
Archie, his dad finally wakes him up. Archie's hair is perfect. He gets out of bed. His hair is perfect.
He's a gorgeous boy.
And he says to his dad that he was up till 4 a.m. working on this machine.
Yeah, the one so he could sleep in. Well, maybe if you went to bed earlier, you could have had plenty of sleep, Archie. I almost call him Rusty.
Rusty knob. And so then you get the intro where everyone's saying, Archie... And the little circles of all the characters' faces, and
it's a black screen and a little circle where they face appear, and there's a catchy little jingle that's happening too.
Is Archie 20 years old?
Archie looks like he very well could be 20 years old.
Thank you.
He looks like someone I would see at a store and call Sir.
Right. So he goes downstairs. He's having breakfast with his dad because he's got plenty of time because
they got all the time
in the world in the morning, and he starts complimenting his dad. His dad is a psychotherapist, right?
Psychologist, psychotherapist, yeah.
And he starts talking to his dad, and his dad's like, no, stop. I know what you're asking. You're going to ask for more allowance. He's like, well, Betty and Veronica both want me to take him to.
Hold on a second. I got to ask this question because you said allowance, and I agree it's probably what this is. But they say the PTA get acquainted parties coming up. Did he say I need more scooties? Did he say Scooties?
I think so. He said Scooties.
What the fuck? Does that mean money?
Yeah, that means money.
How do you know that Scooties means money? I was like, is he getting some weird breakfast cereal?
Well, I use context clues.
Okay, see, I don't do that.
You should.
But
So he wants
he's
more allowance because he has to buy a corsage for this party.
For Betty, but he says Veronica wants it too.
And believe me, I'm going to tell you right now, Veronica wants it. Just hold up.
There's a preemptive bump coming.
Yeah. And so what does Archie's dad begin to discuss with him?
He's like, you know what, kid? You got two girls fighting over you. That's kind of going to be like a theme. This is all about propinquity.
Propinquity.
Propinquity. Oh, that's right.
Propinquity.
Propinquity.
And Archie's like, what's propinquity? He's like, basically you fall in love with somebody that lives within a block and a half of you.
Yeah.
And that's your
who's
true
the
love.
Closest proximity. Right. That's how you find girls, is if they're close to you.
Right. And then he compliments his wife. And
honestly, he's not wrong. You know?
Right.
Do you believe in the idea of a soulmate?
God. Yes, I do.
Do you really? Yeah. See, I don't believe in that. I think that if I live in Central Illinois and I find a girl roughly my same age, we'll have experienced roughly the same things.
And like sex rough.
And they love to be thrown around violently in bed. If you grew up in the same area, a lot of shared experiences can ultimately lead to a relationship that may work. So I think his dad is totally right when he says propinquity.
Propinquity. Anyway, Betty knocks on the door, comes over, and hello?
That's me, Betty.
Hi, Betty. How are you?
I love you, Archie.
I love you too, baby. Oh, yeah. Not a virgin anymore, Betty. Betty
is cute.
Yeah, she's cute. She picks up Archie, and she has some books in her hand. And Archie's dad's like, hey, why don't you carry your books, Archie? And she's like, no, these are Archie's books. He left them in my house last night.
Archie is a fucking player.
He is a pimp, Daddy.
The shit is happening. He wakes up fresh and so clean. Has the broads knocking at his front door, carrying his books.
Anyway, next scene, Weatherby, who is the principal, is in his office and talking to himself.
This is an interesting trope of the show.
Yeah, this was the thing that made me uncomfortable.
Maybe Weatherby is by himself so often that they need to give him some sort of back and forth, which apparently is with himself, because we hear his internal monologue on more than one occasion. Yeah,
he's talking about all these all the students that he's in charge of and shaping their minds, and he ends up talking about how 75% of his time is taken up from Archie.
Yeah. All these kids, 800 students, minds to mold, futures to create, and yet Archie takes up all of his time.
Right.
The next scene, you see Veronica in the hallway, and to me, Veronica's the one. And she wants it bad.
Oh, she wants it super bad.
She is hurting for a 1964 squirtin'.
Right. You also meet Jughead in this scene. And
was he in it all? Because every time Veronica was on the scene...
Is Jughead retarded?
They had,
I hate to use that word, but is Jughead retarded?
It was difficult to identify those with mental needs back then, but without a doubt, Jughead had some sort of retardation about him.
All right, thank you. Going back, and there's more internal conversation with Weatherby, which eventually got to where I didn't.
I will say too that Veronica, like her dad has a computing machine.
Yeah, because he's like the head of a bank.
And at this point too, like I was like, I'm going to Google this show and find out the name of the woman who played Veronica
and see if you can find some nudes.
Exactly.
And did you?
I wrote that as a note, but I haven't yet done it.
Okay.
Believe me when I say that it is on my checklist.
Betty and Veronica start fighting over who Archie's going to take to in the classroom. Who Archie's going to take to this dance?
They mentioned Rock Hudson, who turns out to be a gay guy.
Yeah, this really weird fucking dance, which I don't understand the reason for.
When they were in the classroom here, I noticed that it was like a serious full-size classroom.
Oh, yeah.
You ever watch these sitcoms and there's like 12 kids maybe in the classroom?
This one's got like
25, 30 kids.
Archie ends up getting sent to the principal's office because Reggie throws like a spitwad at him.
I didn't get his name till later, but yes, the jockey guy who's kind of always hitting on Veronica, understandably so, is always kind of, he's a pain in everyone's ass.
Oh yeah, he's just one of those cocky assholes. Anyway, Archie goes to the principal's office, and Ms. Kenny is the secretary.
Archie is working this bitch too, man.
Dude, and she looks like the same age. That's where I really saw that he had to be 20 years old, because she looks like 23 years old.
I am into Miss Kenny. You know what? All these people are dead or 1,000 years old right now.
If you like it, put a thing in it.
Put a cock ring on it? Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Miss Kenny had it going on. And Archie is like not smooching, but he's like working it.
He's up on her desk and like 3 inches from her face.
He's like, if people who are together, like people who are romantically involved spend a lot of time together, then we should be, because I'm here all the time.
Right, because I'm getting in trouble all the time. Mr. Weatherby is having a conversation with Mrs. Finch.
She's with the PTA, which is what the upcoming event is about.
Right. A little PTA, you really got it going on. Little PTA, you really got it going on. So Miss Finch wants every single student from this high school to go to this mixer dance.
She says the attendance is low. We need a lot of kids there.
Right. She's every kid. We need every kid there.
She says the shy kids are being left out of these get-togethers.
No, they're not. They're choosing not to go.
Archie is outside trying to finger blast Miss Kenny, and then he overhears what's happening in there. He knows he was sent there to be in trouble, but he's like, what am I hearing right now that I can turn around every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming round. Turn around, bright eye. Archie.
Every there did I fall apart, and I need you more tonight. And I need you more than ever, and we'll only be making it right.
Archie's about to make it right. He says, "I'm in trouble here, and I'm gonna hear what's going on here, and I'm gonna make it go my way."
So we've been watching this for like maybe 7 minutes, and Archie could fuck 3 girls already. And he could
I don't think he
4.
could.
He could fuck his mom.
I don't think he could. I think he has. I think these girls are like, this guy is carrying around a fucking Louisville Slugger in his pants. He's hit it, and he's chosen not to quit it, and I'm coming back for seconds.
High five that shit.
Ooh, that's better. So he says he bursts in after eavesdropping, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to get everyone
100%,
to attend this
he
party.
says 100% attendance.
Yep. Every kid in this school will attend the Get Acquainted PTA get-together, and I will use the computer machine that Veronica's father has to match up everyone for the dance, so everyone will have a date.
Exactly. And what word comes up again?
Gay guys.
Propinquity.
Oh, propinquity. I was thinking, what about the gay kids in school? When was
they come into play later on?
Okay, good.
I've got the gaydar.
You have a candidate for gay kids?
I got the gaydar. So Archie starts to explain propinquity to Weatherby, and we find out that Weatherby has never been married.
He uses his dad's word from earlier in the day to his advantage. Mrs. Finch, who's bitching, she's a kind of a cunt lady, she's impressed by what he has to say. And so she leaves happy, knowing that this plan is in play. And Mr. Weatherby, the principal, is like, you know what, Archie? I know you're up to something, okay? And get the fuck out of my office.
Yeah, and he's like, no. And he goes through this whole spiel and convinces Weatherby to like let him do his plan.
He kind of reluctantly says yes. Okay, yeah, she left happy. She likes your plan. Right. I don't want her up my ass. Okay, Archie, do what you got to do.
Next scene. Betty and Veronica are in cheerleader outfits. Can I go ahead and say the cheerleader bump? Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it?
Oh, my God. High five that shit.
That was a double high five, motherfuckers.
My Meta Milk Beignet is tearing through my YKK. Okay? Did you just break your finger? What did you do?
I pinched it.
And what? How did you pinch it? Man, get your fucking shit together. You're a goddamn pilot. Jesus Christ, man. All right.
Step right up. Step right up. Here's
Come fill out your personality cards.
Right, so what he wants to do is he wants all these shy kids to fill out these personality cards. He's going to use the computer, and it's going to match them with other kids, and they're all going to end up going.
Essentially, this is an early version of the pachinko machine, because the pachinko machine here that runs, it's all gears, punch cards related, just like this machine here. Right. It's a non-electrical machine. We use it to calculate everything, Couch Pilots-wise. This is what he's working with, essentially.
Yeah, and I didn't want to brag about this, because we don't like to toot our own horn. We like to eat humble pies.
Honk, honk!
But the reason why the Clarks are having a baby is because the pachinko machine put them together. It calculated her fertile.
The pachinko machine calculated her ovulation.
That's the word I was looking for.
And which means was from the Latin ovum, which means egg.
Right. And so what it did was it calculated it, and then it sent a text message to Kevin and said, "Hey, have sex with her tonight."
Yeah.
And look where we're at.
Now they got a baby.
And Blazon is going to be the best kid ever.
Thank you, Couch Pilots, for another victory.
Wait a minute. Mildred, come here and get your card. Mildred runs away. Mildred is the school shy girl. She's a shy girl and you don't want to put it anymore. Anyway,
is that Helen Oates?
Helen Oates?
Is that a rich girl but shy girl?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. They're having success signing up the kids. Veronica says the words naughty and daddy and with me at this point.
And I splice those together.
I can't. This is a show for families and kids, but I cannot. This rivals Elvira and Battletoads for the sexiest pilot we've ever watched.
Veronica is super sexy in this, and
she's a sex pot.
Every time she's on the screen, you want to have sex.
They're in cheerleading outfits.
Oh, God. With R's on them, which means rear.
You know it means rear.
Anyway.
Sure. Is it Riverdale High? Sure.
Yeah.
But it means rear.
Right. And so this is where the gay guy comes up, and he's
my God.
And he's like, I'm not really into this, but I'm interested in science.
Jesus
this is gay
Christ,
guy.
Man.
This is gay guy number one. All right. So Veronica, was naughty and didn't talk to her dad about using the computer, which got to.
You cannot have these girls dress like that
and say naughty and daddy.
You cannot do that.
And so Veronica says,
"Oh my God!
For me to ask my dad and to use the computer, you have to break your date with Betty." And he says, "Okay." So he goes behind the stage, and tells Betty, "Hey, I got to break this date," and she slaps him.
Veronica is soaked. She is slipping and sliding around the stage in a puddle of her own devices, and Archie. Just fuck her. Just take her to the dance and have coitus with her.
Right. And Veronica.
Holy shit!
Veronica is one of those girls.
Oh my God.
That you're gonna have coitus with, and for a month and a half, 2 months, she's gonna fucking stalk you and make your life hell. But if you go back and calculate it, it's well worth it.
The crazy shit is just worth it. You're welcome. High five that shit. Faux show.
We're having.
The jock who keeps showing up, you named him Reggie. He's like, you know what?
Asshole.
He broke it off with her, said he's going to go with you. But once you give him access to the machine, he's going to break it off with you.
Yeah, he's talking to Veronica.
Back with Betty.
Because he was wanting to bone Veronica back in the classroom.
Honestly, can you blame him?
No, I can't. Originally, he was the bad guy. I can't make him the bad guy.
You're
the bad guy.
You look at Reggie and you think, what a tool. All he's trying to do is get into Veronica's pants, which is what I'm trying to do.
Right.
So I can't blame him for anything.
And so then Reggie tells Veronica this, and then she goes and goes to talk to Archie, and she slaps him too. Yeah. So he's, God, if I could be slapped by Veronica,
I would give anything.
Jesus Christ.
I would give every hair on my body for it.
Go back to the short-haired teacher who I do believe was in Green Acres.
I didn't get her name for the show, but I called her Homely Teacher because
homely, but
she was very nearly a man.
Yeah, but I think Green Acres is something. She was a painter. It was in Green Acres. There was a painter, like a brother and sister painter, or a husband and wife painter.
Okay.
Yeah. And anyway, she's got the hots for Mr. Weatherby.
She's throwing herself, practically throwing herself at him.
It's uninteresting.
He's not having it. And honestly, this is where I put a note. He's old, not married, and probably gay. So you found a gay guy in a kid who's interested in science, but I found a gay guy in an old man who's a principal. Throwing off advances by women who are ready and willing.
Right. So there's some German accents, and Archie, he's not going to get Veronica's dad's computer.
No.
So he decides to make his own computer.
The size of a washing machine.
Yes.
And Jughead gets inside it.
Jughead's inside of it. Again, propinquity. We talk about propinquity again.
This is great. This is actually great.
He talks with his dad again, I think, about it.
I think
his dad comes in and checks out the...
But this is great. If you don't have access to a computer and you got every kid in the school paying a nickel, which is probably $5,000 back then, for a personality card to be matched up with someone, saying, oh, technology will show me the way, technology will put me with my soulmate, and then you have control of the results? Oh, my God. This is incredible. I'd put myself with the head cheerleader every time.
44 years after this pilot, we are using computers to online date to match each other up.
And you know what? I was reading about this pilot, and someone said that if a modern version existed of this, it would be of online dating.
Yeah.
And absolutely. We might read about that a little bit later. But Jughead and Archie are with the computer, and Jughead gets inside it, and then you get a commercial break. They come back, and they're back at the high school, and the computer that Jughead is inside, he's computing the results.
Right, he's just spitting out a boy and a girl card.
Yeah, and Archie reads the results and he pairs up the kids. Some are kind of apprehensive, but ultimately everyone is satisfied.
Oh, they all walk away hand in hand.
I think it's because they trust the computer and the technology so much that even if they are hesitant, they think, you know what, the computer knows best.
Right. But Reggie says, I don't know about this. Something's up. And so he goes and tattles again.
Yeah.
And all the couples are happy. Every couple that
everyone's happy. Who cares about the memes?
Happy. Even Jughead gets Buffy, and Buffy's like, "Where's he at?" He's like, "Oh, he's not here today."
That's what I'm talking about. He has control of the results, so of course he puts himself with the hottest girl. I would do it too.
Jamie Toomey.
Oh my God, Jamie Toomey. She's gonna get it.
Oh, God damn.
So
just one time.
Veronica is kind of confused about what that computer came from. Yeah, they kind of say, "Hey, what's going on with this with the principal?"
And Weathersby comes in.
Well, right before he comes in, I look at all the kids that are happy, and I think, where are the black kids?
Oh, nice. I didn't even think about.
You know what?
Let's give it a black kid bump.
I know that this pilot is in black and white, but where are all the black kids?
Yeah, there's no black kids whatsoever. You're right. Yeah, Jughead wants out of this computer because he's crammed in there.
Yeah,
and Mr. Weatherby comes in, and Archie's like, "Oh shit, he's trying to bust him." And so Mr. Weatherby is like, "I want to see inside of it." He's like, "Oh no, we don't have to do that." Blah blah blah. Mr. Weatherby calls him a fraud.
He says you're committing fraud with this. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He said, but that's what I don't understand because everyone is happy.
Yeah.
Attendance will be at 100%. So what the fuck is the problem?
Archie goes on this huge guilt trip looking out the window and seeing all these couples who just because they had a card that punched their names are now hand in hand and making out.
He looks out the window in Weatherby's office and says, look at all these kids. They're so happy. We're going to break their hearts if we tell them this. It is at this moment that I say, we are watching Saved by the Bell.
Don't go breaking my heart.
Don't go breaking my heart.
I won't go breaking your heart. God, you're damn right. It is.
This is
Saved by the Bell.
Archie is a swindling, smooth-talking, handsome, perfect hair, Zach Morris, and you have Mr. Belding in Mr. Weatherby. Mm-hmm. The relationship they have is
exactly the same.
Yes, they have a love for each other, but they're also at odds with each other all the time. Always schemes, always things trying to one-up one another. This is the original Saved by the Bell.
Nice job. High five that shit. Night of the party. Betty and Veronica are talking trash about Archie, and they have different dates.
They're talking. They're both talking about the same man,
and Reggie's not even there.
Who did Reggie get paired up with?
I don't know, but they're talking shit about him because here's the thing about what I did not like about this is Betty and Veronica were supposedly best friends, but they were always fighting over Archie.
They're always fighting. Yeah.
And if I know anything about women,
which you do.
Two women cannot be in love with the same guy and still be friends.
Doesn't work.
So, they say you'll just be friends. Oh, baby Veronica.
On the back of his songs.
I want to take you in the back of my Cadillac.
Mr. Weatherby's also outside going to the dance, and then he picks up a lady. He picks up a second lady. And he picks up a third lady.
Yeah, Miss Penny.
Miss Kitty. Miss Finch, right?
Yeah, all of them.
And yeah, so every lady that you see that is an adult, he's picked them up. And to me, I'd say, Miss Finch, why don't you go start my car? I say, Miss Homely lady from Green Acres, why don't you go get me a sandwich? I'm going to go put my cock in this Kenny's mouth. She's a fucking hot bitch.
And the reason why he doesn't is because he is
A gay guy. He's a gay guy.
Mildred shows up, and Archie and they're talking, and Mildred says, he's like, Archie says, like, what did your card say?
She's hiding in the bushes.
She's like, I never came because I didn't want to see what my card said. He's like, and he pulls out of his, God, the guy is fucking good. He pulls it out of his pocket. He's like, your card said, I'm your match.
It's like, no wonder, because I didn't have a match, and here you are, didn't show up.
Thank you. Archie is a fucking pimp.
This is a girl who would be dried up, sealed up, barren until her 35th birthday.
Right.
But Archie is saying, you know what? I see potential in this young woman. I'm going to make her mine. I'm going to take her into this dance, and then I'm going to take her out to Lookout Drive.
And do some finger blasting.
Holy hell.
Theme music.
Honestly,
at the end.
I got to high five you because at the end, my last note is he smooth talks her into going in. He's going to finger blast her, high five it. The end. Oh, but there is some turbulence.
We're back on the same page.
Oh, we never
Please
left,
remain
buddy.
seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
The show didn't work. In the interesting facts section, they hypothesized that it didn't work maybe because some of the recognizable characters would be pigeonholed to their earlier, more fantastical or notable roles.
Right.
But you know what? And I think it's easy for me as a person who doesn't recognize and who didn't come from that time to say, I don't recognize those people.
Right.
And so I take this at face value.
Right.
So that's a hard pill for me to swallow because I didn't grow up
Is it a
then.
jagged little pill?
You ought to know.
I don't know.
So what would you do to improve, Archie?
God, I tell you what. Here's where it's difficult, and this happens from time to time. Is we have to go back to 1964
In our minds.
and I have to look at this pilot in that time period.
That's the whole reason we do that section of the show.
Yeah, to me, I think at the time
Right.
it was risque.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. Veronica, risque all day.
I think the whole Weatherby talking to himself kind of put people off in regards to the executives,
Maybe they didn't understand what was going on.
or they didn't think that it would translate. Mm-hmm. That's all I got.
So there are some aspects of the show that are maybe ahead of their time and ultimately off-put the people who made the decisions of the show.
Right. Exactly.
Interesting. I think not only is this original Saved by the Bell, but it's also older Dennis Menace. Dennis the Menace, I should say.
Yeah, like a teenage Dennis the Menace.
This is Dennis the Menace if he grew up, got some hair on his pubes, and said, I'm going to start shagging broads 10 at a time for a dime. R.I.P. Mr. Wilson.
You are so smart.
And you are so Final Descent. I'm not sure that makes sense, but as a
Ladies and
segue.
gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
IMDb, do you want to take a stab at what the folks at IMDb said this score was?
5.7.
7.6.
Yeah.
7.6 from 34 completely separate but equal ratings. Critic reviews. Mark Moore from Riverdale Reviewed. Riverdale Reviewed says,
That's the high school.
this is a website devoted to all things Archie.
Okay.
So they take a look at every single iteration of that, the comics, all the different made-for-TV movies, the specials, the TV attempts, and they rate them, they talk about them. And Mark Moore says, I think it's pretty good. It's entertaining enough. The cast was good in their roles. If it was made today, the plot would be modernized to Archie running a fraudulent dating site, and Nickelodeon would be the only channel that it would air, that would air it, rather. Still, I wish it had gone to series back in the day. It was no worse than anything that was airing at the time.
That's true. That's true.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
Viewer reviews. There should have been a series. This is from Mark Davidson 8. Thank you for the 7 Mark Davidsons before him. From November of 2013.
R.I.P.
I just watched this never aired pilot on YouTube and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I felt that most of the casting was excellent and it was extremely enjoyable and pleasant show. It certainly came much closer to the comic book versions of the world of Riverdale, in my opinion, than the very poor 1990 NBC TV movie To Riverdale and Back Again. Aside from a few of the characters not being very similar to their comic book versions, albeit Mr. Weatherby and Mr. Andrews, I feel they did a splendid job with the casting of the principal characters. It is difficult to know if John Simpson, Archie, had red like the comic book version or blonde hair, but he was otherwise very good in the role. The casting of Jughead was acceptable. The casting of Cheryl Hulbridge as Betty and Mickey Jameson as Veronica was also excellent. I personally love the era, 1964, when this was made, and it was a very nice and nostalgic window to a simpler past watching this show. I'm just sorry that the series was never made because I think it would have been made very good and a lot of fun. People have seen this.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that this makes sense to me.
Yeah.
There are things out there that recognize this exists and have commented on them. Sometimes you run across a licensed piece of material or something with a notable actor that no one is talking about. It doesn't make sense to me. But Archie has been around for so long that people are aware of this, and they, at one point or another, have talked about it.
Right, and I don't know about the Archie comic books. I don't know anything about them.
Me neither.
I can vision the curly-haired kid,
Yeah.
and that's about all I got.
And you got Jughead with that weird crown on. I don't know why he's fucking wearing a crown.
a weird hat. It's
Yeah,
a retard
but it looks like a crown, right?
Yeah.
A crown for retards.
It's got buttons on it, but you can't see what it is. And, yeah, so overall, people like this. Why did not go?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Bing bong.
Bing bong,
blip,
Bitcoins.
Blip boop. Bleep bloop Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency bleep blop. We rate it now. We say others have seen it, others have rated it.
There's no point to us doing this show unless we rate it. Right? It's just a waste of time.
I love metaphors. I use them often on the show.
I love meta milk boners.
And you know what? This show has it in spades. So, Captain Philip, rest assured, on our scale from 1 to 7, 1 being the worst, 7 being the best, all given characters from the classic television show from the 1990s called Wings, that we have taken the intro and outro for this show for, I look to you and I ask, how do you rate Archie?
Right off the bat, Veronica bump.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding.
It's a Veronica / Betty bump, actually, because when they show up in their cheerleader outfits, I'm giving this a 6. You gotta watch this, Kevin Clark.
I cannot agree with you more. This is not perfect. I give it a 6 as well.
Oh!
I really do.
How long has it been? How long has it been since we agreed?
We agree with some frequency, but
on the shitty side of it.
Or the shitty side, absolutely.
Right.
But to go high as a 6, a Helen Chapel, both of us, this was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I grew up Saturday morning thinking, I think it's 10 a.m. 10 a.m. on NBC. That's when Saved by the Bell comes
10
on.
a.m. I must be lonely.
It must be lonely. But I always wanted to watch Saved by the Bell. This is Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, it's 1964, Saved by the Bell.
Veronica is Kelly Kapowski. Betty is Jesse Spano. Jughead is Screech Powers. Reggie is A.C. Slater.
Thank you.
All the characters are there. This is a classic formula for for an enjoyable television. The only thing was missing was Lisa Turtle, and there are no black kids at Riverdale for some reason.
Segregation.
I love
baby.
Archie. It is very rare that I hand out a 7, and rare for you as well. So when we both go 6, you know this is a show you got to check out.
Yep, go high or go home.
Why it didn't succeed? You might be right. It may have been too risque. I don't know the answer to these questions.
I really think that it was, even the executives thought, I don't understand this Witherby thing.
Right.
Talking to himself, and this is way too risky.
Perhaps so.
Risque.
Yeah.
It's the French version.
It's French for Legionnaires. Yeah. That's right. What a great pilot. I really enjoyed it. I think it clocked in at about 30 minutes or so.
36 minutes.
A lot of fun.
Oh, it was great.
I'd watch it again.
Yeah.
I would love it if this came to the series. I would watch this over. I'm tempted to give it a 7. I will not, but you're goddamn right. I give this a Veronica bump. Holy shit.
If you watch this and don't get a boner from watching Veronica, talk. The way she talks, it's like...
Yeah.
Archie.
Sultry, right?
God.
If you look at Veronica and you don't bone-yay out, then I tell you what, you're a Mr. Weatherby. All right? Go work on your science project, nerd.
And you'll never be married.
That's right.
Love it.
Oh, merciful heavens. And with that, we close the book on Archie. and we will never mention it again.
Forever?
But join us next time, please, when we watch the pilot episode of Ghostwatch. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. The story of a time-telling piece of jewelry who breaks down but is still correct twice a day as a ghost. Oh, wait, hold on. That's a project.
That's not right.
That's a project I'm working on with MC.
Thank you.
Here it is. Okay. The BBC gives over an entire evening to an investigation into the supernatural. 4 respected presenters and a camera crew attempt to discover the truth behind the most haunted house in Britain, expecting a light-hearted scare or two and probably the uncovering of a hoax. They think they're in control of the situation. They think they are safe. The viewers settle down and decide to watch for a laugh. 90 minutes later, the BBC and the country was changed, and the consequences are still felt today.
This is a frequent flyer request.
Yes,
from the UK.
Yeah, you and I, by our accents, we are in the United States of America. All hail President Trump.
Right.
Central Illinois, right? South of Chicago, north of St. Louis. But this request came in from over the pond in the UK from Chris Tuckley. Chris Tuckley? Tuckley, yes. So
a Patreon supporter.
Absolutely. He requested it, and oh my goodness, what a request this was. So
There's a lot of dedication to this request.
I'm very excited to check this out. You can find the entire episode of Ghostwatch by subscribing to Couch Pilots and Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to archive.com and rhyming.
Take a dive.
Archive. And you know what to do, Tube.
Sounds good to me.
How do you contact Couch Pilots if you were so inclined?
CouchPilotspodcast.com. That's our website. That's the central hub. You can get to our Instagram. You can get to our Twitter. We can get to our Facebook. Through all those, you can check out all the episodes. And you can also find our dial-in number, which is 910-PILOTS-1. Jason, what does that constitute to?
910-745-6871.
Chris, we would love to get a voicemail from you after the next episode. We will pay the charges. Yeah. But thanks to all our Patreon supporters, patreon.com/couchpilots. You're keeping the gas in the plane, and we appreciate it.
Yep.
Every dime.
We really do appreciate it.
Loving it, elevator.
Living it up while I'm going down. Does that mean he's giving oral sex?
Going down. Oh, no. Cuddlingus.
But like as a famous rock star, don't you think he should be receiving oral sex rather than giving it, or is that just playing to the song better?
That's playing the song better.
What's a message of positivity that you have for our frequent flyers today?
Wow, so much has happened negative in my life the last few weeks.
It's hard to be positive, right? When everything's so negative.
I personally have a lot of friends in low places, and I appreciate their friendships.
You're looking at me. I don't know. Okay.
All right, you're a friend, and you're in a low place. And I love all my friends. So if you have a friend that you really care about, tell them I appreciate you, buddy.
Okay. All right. And you know what?
Just go ahead and
I honor you, and I appreciate you as well.
Thank you.
And with that, this pilot may have been rough, but it is always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.